morning. Let's get right to it. Joining us right now, fresh off his morning show in Houston, Texas, the one and only Sean Salisbury. Good morning, Sean.
Morning, guys. How are you?
Great. Yeah, doing good, dude. I missed you last week. Sorry. I got to tell you, I think historically, Sean, I think cream corn is the devil. It's like baby food to me. But Chris Verlad, our producer, made your cream corn.
Jalapeno cream.
The jalapeno cream corn, has the recipe. I'm going to make it, Sean, and if I like it, it's going to be the first time in my life I've liked cream corn, so we'll see.
So if I get a report, can you cut out, if I get a report on the cream corn, it came out the way I make it, how'd it turn out?
Chris, go ahead.
Oh, it turned out great. At Thanksgiving, everyone's like, all right, I need that recipe. That was amazing.
Yeah.
So they liked it good. Did you mix in the brown sugar as well?
Yep, got that in there. I followed it to a T. I didn't want to make any changes, and came out perfect.
There you go. Well, awesome. And you can always adjust it if you like it sweeter with spice or what have you. But make it a staple, brother. I love it. So, and it's not baby food, Dave, unless of course you decide to go to the baby section and mix that corn in that the kids eat. So I like the hope. I offered a little bit more than that, but give it a try. I think you'll like it, especially if you like jalapenos and some good corn done right with cream cheese. So I'm glad you did it. Thank you.
Now, last thing on that, I am just curious, Sean, because you're a California kid, but you've moved all around. Is this a Sean Salisbury California dish, or is this a Sean Salisbury Texas dish?
California. Probably add a little bit more spice to it in Texas. I've been in Texas now. Damn, what's it been? 23 years now when you count Dallas and Houston. So it's been a hell of a long run. So yeah, and then you add some stuff when you're here. You know, there's certain flavors certain people like in Texas you may not get. But I'm one of those guys. I was fortunate. I grew up in a family that ate a lot of good. You know, whether it's brisket that I ate in California before I came here, but some of these recipes have been in the family for a while. We just adjusted and added to it depending on how much you like spice and stuff. So that's been in the family for a long time, man, with a few adjustments.
Sean, want to ask you something that's I'm sure was a big topic for you guys there in Houston. Dave and I were discussing it earlier, and you'd be the perfect one to ask about it too with your quarterback playing days. Kind of the Trevor Lawrence, Azeez Al-Shaair play. Did the league get the suspension right? And then how do you still protect the QBs? Just kind of what's your overall angle on that, just that whole play?
First off, let me ask the last part first. I, as a former player, and obviously the eras, and it changes like life. I mean, people got to adjust. The football's not going to be the same as it was in 85. It's not going to be the same in 2030. But as a quarterback, I think the defense gets hosed most of the time. I do. All the rules are set up for quarterbacks and offenses to have success. We don't like 10 to 7 games as fans and TV and broadcast. And I mean, maybe we do old school wise, but everybody likes the throwing and points and protecting the quarterback. I've always had a problem with the overprotection of quarterbacks, and I know we got to protect them, but we don't protect the left guard like we do the quarterback. He's still human, and he blocks for the guy in order to get the guy paid. As a quarterback, I lean to the defense most of the time. I think we are overprotected. I think now vicious, dirty hits, penalize them. But a hit when the ball's coming out of your hand, hell, Dan Fouts told me years ago when he was a broadcaster and I was a quarterback, I asked him about leadership. He said leadership is standing in the pocket and delivering the football down the gun barrel when you know you're going to get hit and it's going to be right in the chin and you deliver the football without bailing out early on your offensive line. He goes, you want to gain respect and leadership? You do that, and that'll give you leadership and respect more than any 400-yard game you have. And he's right. So I almost think we lose some of that from our quarterbacks, that ability to say, that dude will stand in no matter what, because we protect him so much, players are afraid to hit him. So in the pocket, yeah, I think we overprotect him. I do. And I think it's absurd at times to the point of losing the integrity of tackle football. I do. I want to protect him and keep it safe from low knee hits and head hits. Of course, I want that for everybody. I just think we overprotect him, and I think we overdo it. And we are as close as we've ever been to, two-hand touching them, even though it's still a tough position. Outside the pocket, I understand the slide rule. I think Al-Shaair, the suspension's fair. It was vicious. You saw Trevor Lawrence clench his fist when it happened. Now I know people are going to say, well, wait a minute. The timing, he had already left his feet and was going to hit him anyway. Well, then somebody will come back and say, well, you know what? Then don't, jump out of your cleats at the player. Keep your feet on the ground before you all the things that go with and I respect both sides. I do. I was talking yesterday on my show. And we talked about it a lot today. I don't know. I don't believe in my heart that he's going out there to actually try to hurt somebody. But now, then I looked at a compilation. He's got some history, and I think that's why it was so severe. And I think they admit it. It's not just that's not a one-off. He's hit a guy laid out of bounds. He's punched a guy in the face. And I know people here in Houston rave and D'Amico about his character. And I'm sure he's a great guy. I love him as a football player. I don't know him as a person. I love that he's physical and nasty. But you just got to be smarter. And it was vicious, and it should have been flagged, and that's an expensive penalty. But I would want to protect all players that way, not just the quarterback. And I understand the slide. Oh, I'm almost starting to feel like the slide puts quarterbacks in more danger than if they just lower their shoulder pad and dive forward for the hit. Honesty, I swear I do. And then the defense, once again, what are we going to do when Mahomes gives the old okey-doke fake pump fake at the sideline and then steps back in bounds and goes, get you 15 more yards? So the defense is definitely at a disadvantage, but I want him to play hard, and I love vicious legal hits. If you hit me as hard as you can and in the right spot, I'll never have a complaint. That was nasty, and it's dangerous, and it's had to happen, and he'll learn his lesson. But for the most part, notwithstanding this event, I think that Al-Shaair is a hell of a physical football player that, you just got to be a little more judicious in certain situations and control yourself, temperament a little more. And then after the play, he, incited more trouble as well as Jacksonville. But I would have done what Jacksonville did too. I'd have protected my player. I'd have wanted him and I would somebody after taking that hit. So there's a lot of layers, and it kind of goes, you get both out of it. I love the physicality, but I don't like the cheapness of it. So it works. And if it was C.J. Stroud, people here think it's too long. If it was C.J. Stroud, they'd been up in arms and going nuts if it was been delivered by Josh Allen, the defensive end from Jacksonville, on Stroud. So I think we overprotect the quarterback. In that situation, we didn't, and it's fair. But I just think moving forward, somehow, some way out of the pocket, we got to protect him in the pocket. We do it too much.
So it's funny, a lot of the stuff, we were talking about it earlier, Sean, especially, Jason had brought up that maybe this sliding hurts the player more than them standing up and taking the hit. We also talked about what you said about Patrick Mahomes, and we've seen Josh Allen do it, where they do the little okey-doke out of bounds or they fake a slide. Is there something to the NFL maybe legislating against that, like a flop in the NBA? Hey, dude, if you're going into faking a slide or going out of bounds, Mahomes did it against the Niners earlier this year. That's a personal foul, 15-yard penalty. Don't screw around with that stuff. Because I'd like to think, Sean, if you were still in the league playing quarterback and you saw Patrick Mahomes pull that crap, you'd send him a note saying, dude, you just put all of us in danger now. Thanks a lot.
Oh, of course. And that's right. That's why the right answer of whose side are you on, and I know it's odd for a quarterback to be on the defensive side, but I've been hit plenty of times that were vicious, physical, brutal hits, but the guy would give you the respect of hitting you in the upper part of the pads in the back, and instead of hitting you in the low part of the knee, and I appreciated it. It wasn't fun, but I appreciate it. So I know that there's so many layers on that. Yeah, Dave, I said it this morning. I said we need to. And if this is the case, how do we legislate it or put a mandate out that those guys don't? They already have all the advantage you friggin' need. Quarterbacks do. So let's if they pull that okey doke, then what you do is you bring it back, and even if you want to just take it like sometimes a penalty where the infraction occurred. Let's say he gains 8 yards on the initial, and he's about to step out of bounds, and okey doke and gets 15 more. Bring it back to where he gained the 8 yards, loss it down.
Yep.
And spot the ball right there where he doesn't get rewarded for it. He didn't hurt anybody. And you don't get benefit from like pulling the okey doke like you're some star. The guy breaks down and can't hit you, because if he did, your ass would be 4 feet up in the stands in the fourth row if they unloaded on you like they want to. So cause a loss of down and put it back at the line of scrimmage. And if you want to add, like you said, the flop, put a foul, or you move them back and call it the same you would if you chop block the guy, a 15-yard penalty, personal foul. That'll stop the rule. That'll stop it immediately. it'll stop it immediately. But back to the sliding thing. I don't like the vulnerability of sliding feet first because your head's up.
Yeah.
You don't have the peg. I mean, everything, and the first thing that's going to get hit is the thing that's the highest, and it's the head. Hell, you think Josh Allen? I want Josh Allen's big-ass body taking you on with a shoulder pad. He'll run through you.
Right.
So it almost feels all these different rules. It's hard. I want players safe. I think the integrity of the game needs to stay intact, and we are in danger of losing some of that. And we do overprotect them in the pocket, and we still have to protect them like any player outside the pocket in defense where you can't defend yourself and it's a clean hit because those guys are so physical. But this suspension is harsh, but it sends a loud message, and I can't the stuff he's done.
All right, that's Sean Salisbury. We will try that cream corn, or I will, before next week, and we'll get into more. I like food talk. Sean and I could do it.
Absolutely,
completely.
Yeah, for sure.
Total segment
you
on
guys,
just.
You guys are cutting out on me. You got me.
We got you. We were wrapping up anyways. I know you're going through that section. All good. Have a great weekend, brother. Thanks as always. I'm going to try your cream corn.
Brother. Thank you, guys.
We'll talk to you.
Thank you.
Bye bye. Really want to get that cream corn taken. Yeah. We'll take a break. When we come back, 4 down territory. Who the hell's going to win the NFC South?